Hey everybody, welcome back to The Stuff of Legend. My name is D-Lone. I've got another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about a number of different topics that you guys can see on the thumbnail right now. We're going to be talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths versus Lucifer? What the H? And then we're looking at Zoe Kravitz playing Catwoman, but this is not the first time she's playing Catwoman, but this will be the first time in live action. We'll talk about that. We're also going to be talking about Deadpool possibly joining the MCU and the tease that happened on social media, and then a lot more Crisis on Infinite Earths news, which we will talk about in just a second. So let's go ahead and not waste too much more time and jump right into today's first topic. So, welcome back to the Stuff of Legend, guys. Today we're talking about Zoe Kravitz to star as Catwoman in The Batman. This is the Matt Reeves Batman movie that is coming up, and this is going to be a rather standalone. It's not going to be connected to the DCEU, and it's not going to be connected to any other previous Batman movie or series before it. It will be its own thing. Now, that being said, we have Zoe Kravitz confirmed as the actress that will take up the role of Catwoman. And this is something that is really interesting and fun because she not only has played Catwoman as a voice, but she played her in the Lego Batman, which I thought was a really, really great heartfelt love letter to all Batman fans. And even though she only had a little bit of dialogue in that movie, just a few lines, mostly silly lines, she now gets a chance to play her in what we expect to not be a very silly version of the character whatsoever. This is going to be a very serious, very, I think, intricate character that we'll be able to grab a hold of and probably appreciate a great deal. Now, we know that there have been some fans, some cult followers of the Halle Berry version of Catwoman, which deviated greatly from the source material, but that version nonetheless has some fans. I do believe, though, that this will be a much better casting and a much closer casting than we've seen there. A number of different ladies have played the role, but I think that some of these runner-ups I'd heard a lot around the rumor mill. You guys know I do some fan casting on this channel. I've done a Catwoman casting as well, fan cast video, and I've also done a summit in which me and several other fan casters from Instagram, many others, I believe it was 20 or more, fan cast these actresses. Ana de Armas, Ella Balinska, I have not heard. I don't believe she was part of that fan casting summit. And Isa Gonzalez, who was the fan favorite. A bummer to hear that Ana de Armas and Isa lost out to it, but nonetheless, Zoe Kravitz, I think, is a very good choice. And many people will be very excited to see her play alongside Robert Pattinson. So you guys can go ahead and take a look at the news if you want to. The link is in the description below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the next topic of the day. The next topic of the day is Burt Ward gets his first look from the set of the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. This is a really, really exciting one. I'm really pumped for this, and I love the 60s Batman. I love Adam West, Burt Ward, the dynamic duo, the Bright Knight. Man, I really want to see some of that Robin action. Now, let me be clear. We don't know if he is in fact playing Robin, but the image we're about to look at down below does indicate to us that he just might be. So, let's go ahead and take a look down here. So, Burt Ward made his debut as Robin in the 1960s Batman series starring Adam West, and his famous catchphrase arguably helped this version of the character become the most famous incarnation of the Boy Wonder. Now, over 50 years after the conclusion of the Batman series, Robin actor Burt Ward will return to the DC universe with an undisclosed role in the next Arrowverse crossover event. So, again, undisclosed role, which means they have not confirmed he's playing Robin or an older version of Robin or a mature, grown version of the Boy Wonder. We don't know that to be true, but we do know this. While details of Burt Ward's role are currently under wraps, the fact that the Arrowverse crossover will feature actors from live-action DC comic projects, past and present, has some suspecting that the actor will portray an older version of Robin from the Batman series. Now, a new set photo gives fans their first look at Robin actor Burt Ward filming scenes for the 5-part Arrowverse event on the streets of downtown Vancouver, and you can check this image out right here. what I'm going to go ahead and do for you guys is I'm going to go ahead and open up the link to this tweet itself so that we can get a little bit of a bigger look at this. There you go. So you guys can see this here. Burt Ward filming the crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths premiere in downtown Vancouver. Burt Ward was Robin to Adam West's Batman. You can see that he's clearly wearing Robin colors. He's wearing red, green, yellow, black, and white. These are the colors of Robin. And you'll notice that his hair is dyed black. That's an interesting choice. So obviously he's an older gentleman, older man. We know that his hair is clearly not naturally jet black, but it's dyed here. Perhaps he's playing an older version of Robin in this instance, or who knows? It could be any number of characters that have black hair. That is a little bit common, especially amongst comic book characters. But nevertheless, I do find this fascinating. And he's walking a dog. I could not perceive what that might be, but maybe you guys have information about that, comic book characters you think that could be. Maybe Batman's dog. Who knows what this could be teasing, alluding to, or maybe it's nothing. Maybe he's just walking his dog on the set. Let me know what you guys think about that down below in the comments. Maybe this is just a helper dog. You know, this could be a dog that helps him get around, you know, and that'd actually be really cool. I like those kinds of dogs. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this down below. Are you excited to see Burt Ward in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover? I know I sure am, but let me know. Drop a like, leave the comment, let's talk about it, and on to the next topic of the day. The next topic of the day is 1989 Batman is making a resurgence, or could be making a resurgence, in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. Now, we're going to start to get into rumor and a little bit of speculation here, because this report, Crisis on Infinite Earths, may involve, the keywords here to take away, guys, may involve, not does involve, may involve, right here. May involve, might involve classic movie Batman's world. And then it talks about this. Believe it or not, Crisis on Infinite Earths is about to get even bigger. A new set photo from the ambitious Arrowverse crossover has surfaced online, and it appears to show a newspaper featuring Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne on the cover. Wayne Tech CEO Bruce Wayne to marry socialite Selina Kyle, the Gotham City Gazette's headline declares. And this is what it shows here. So the newspaper articles as seen on the set of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it says this: wonder if it will be on Earth 89 of the multiverse. And then it has, you know, a shocked face, Batman, the Flash, Arrow. But this is super cool. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to go ahead and click into this so you guys can see the image in full. But take a look at that. So back in the 1989 Batman, if you guys haven't seen that one, it was Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. It also had Billy D. Williams playing Harvey Dent. And it also had, what's her name? I'm forgetting her name right now. She plays Janet Van Dyne in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm blanking on her name right now. This is me failing, guys. Let me go ahead and open up a new tab for you guys and find out. Oh, wait, sorry. Michelle Pfeiffer. There we go. Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm sorry that took so long, guys. Michelle Pfeiffer is... She played Catwoman back in the day in 1989. And when that happened, it was a beautiful love story that was literally her playing cat and mouse with Batman. And we never got to see that relationship come to fruition. But this here, this article, if this is what's going to be in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, this would tell us something. This would tell us that what we're going to see is the events that take place after or far after, potentially, shortly or far after the movie. So whatever happened in the movie, after that, events transpire, and we're looking at possibly Bruce Wayne marrying Selina Kyle, which is really, really cool. So that would mean Batman and Catwoman getting together. That's something that a lot of the fans wanted to see. That's something that fans of the comics have always wanted to see. And then we get to this point here. And I think that this goes to show that the Crisis on Infinite Earths team is doing literally everything they possibly can, much like the Lego movie, to give the fans what they want, to give the fans fan service done right. Not just fan service, but good quality fan service. This kind of thing is going to be really, really fun and exciting. And gosh, I mean, this doesn't seem very far-fetched based on what we know, guys. And I'm not even through with that news yet. There's so much Crisis news breaking all the time that's basically the entire video I'm making today. So I wanted to show you guys some of that. Now, linked to this, guys, I wanted to show you a couple of these things here. Check this out. A report comes out right after that happens. So after we've seen that their newspaper is showing the Michael Keaton 1989 Batman universe being recognized by Crisis, potentially. Also, another report is showing Crisis on Infinite Earths will feature another Batman 89 alum. And following the rumors of Keaton appearing in the newspaper during Arrowverse's upcoming Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, a new report claims another actor from Tim Burton's film will make an appearance, Robert Wall. And according to Canada Graphs, Wall was spotted on set filming a scene for the crossover. As per that outlet, Wall is reading a newspaper and he looks up into the sky in this scene. Wall played Gotham Globe reporter Alexander Knox in the 1989 Batman film, so that may be who he is here, as the outlet identifies his universe as Earth 89. And though it's unclear that that's an official designation or if Wall is indeed playing Knox again, additionally, it's unclear if the newspaper mentioned here is the same one that is supposed to feature Keaton's Bruce Wayne or a different one entirely. Very, very interesting. So whether or not they are going to be able to get Keaton in for a live-action cameo is kind of irrelevant at this point, but we do see that actor Robert Wall, who very likely is much more, I would imagine, available. We're going to see something like this. Let me just show you guys. If you guys don't remember, Robert Wall was this right here. Let me go ahead and turn off some of these notifications. But we have here Robert Wall, and you see him. Let me go ahead and type in Batman. You guys remember this guy? Check that out. So if you guys remember this frame from the 1989 Batman movie, that's who we're talking about. So he plays the reporter from, I believe it's called the Gotham Globe, if I just read that correctly. But it's really cool that they're digging this deep. They're inviting people like Robert Wall to join the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. Guys, I'm super, super pumped for this. Not only because they're going to talk about one of the best Batman of all time, Michael Keaton, and they're reaching out to Burt Ward to potentially play a role in this thing. We know that he is in the crossover. We don't know what role he's playing, but there's also they're bringing back Brandon Routh. They're going deep, guys. They're getting DC fandom from across the board, all ages, no holds bar. It's beautiful chaos, and I love everything we're hearing so far. But this, to me, this is really, really exciting. I mean, everything that they're canonizing by doing this crossover, every DC universe thing they're making part of this canon. This is wonderful, guys, and I'm so excited to see where this is going to go. And you can tell that this is the kind of leadership that we want at DC, because when Walter Hamada took over Warner Brothers, he basically gave the green light for there to be 2 or 3 or unlimited amounts of any kind of character that we wanted. Remember back when Arrow first started? I think it was in season 2 or something, season 3. They started going for the Suicide Squad. They got Deadshot in there, and then they had they started building that Suicide Squad storyline, and then it all got canned because the movies decided they wanted to make a Suicide Squad, and then they ripped all the Suicide Squad characters, even though they weren't the same actors. It's not the same timeline. It's not the same universe. They ripped it because the old leadership was like, screw you. we don't want to compete with ourselves, so we want all of that fandom money to go to the movies, and that ended up backfiring, because if you don't do it right, then there's nothing more for the fans to cling to. If you have a bunch of these things, like if you have Cyborg played by Ray Fisher in the movies, and then you've got Jovi and Wade playing him on Doom Patrol, and then you've got animated versions of him as well, there's going to be much more fandom, and people can pick and choose which ones they like, but they can still like DC, they can still like those things, and I think this is wonderful, because now you see Walter Hamada's, I've said this so many times on my channel, guys, but Walter Hamada gave the green light to say DC is all about infinite Earths. DC has always been about multiverse and all that kind of thing. Why would we care if the movies have the Flash and the show has the Flash? Let them both have the Flash. It doesn't need to be the same actor, doesn't need to be the same stories. They're not linked. And fans understand that. Fans of DC have always understood that. So why would movie fans or TV show fans be confused by that anyway? And so this is brilliant. They're literally double, triple, infinitely you've heard of double downing? They're infinite downing. They're infinite downing on the unlimitedness of DC fandom and comics and characters. And I love it. And I hope they just keep going. So this is just wonderful. So anyways, guys, what do you think about Robert Wall and Michael Keaton potentially joining this universe? Because obviously these are rumors, and these are things that have some photographic evidence for the newspaper, and for Michael Keaton being on the newspaper, but whether or not that is legitimate, whether or not that is credible, remains to be seen. However, I would not doubt it at this point. I mean, we had Mark Guggenheim say last week that he reached out to even Nick Cage to play Superman. I mean, they're going all in. So this doesn't surprise me. Does it surprise you? That's what I want to know. Talk to me in the comments, and let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Anyways, thanks, guys. Let's go to I would consider this the big news of the day. The big news of the day is Tom Ellis reportedly spotted as Lucifer on Crisis on Infinite Earths set. Guys, this is bananas. This is unbelievable, unreal to the max. I don't even know how to further address this. We need to talk about this though, because Tom Ellis, if you guys don't know, he plays Lucifer. I'm gonna go ahead and just bring up Lucifer CW. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a couple of these images for you, because if you guys haven't seen this show, I have not watched this show, but I know a lot of people that have watched this show. People are liking Lucifer. You know who else was on Lucifer? Is Tom Welling. Tom Welling was on Lucifer as well. And he's the guy that plays Smallville's Clark Kent. And he's also been confirmed to be appearing in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, as we've already talked about several times. But now we're seeing that Tom Ellis not only was on the set, but he was seen on the set shooting scenes with the Crisis team. And not only was he seen shooting scenes with the Crisis team, but he was in costume as Lucifer. So I'm going to go ahead and imagine that, you know, he's probably going, like, see, look, people are already talking about it right here. Look at that. Holy cow, man. This is like, there's literally no bounds to what DC is willing to do for this crossover. This is unbelievable. I am really excited. Let's go ahead and read a little bit of this, and then we'll talk about where this report is actually coming from. Because again, guys, it's reportedly. Whenever you see the word reportedly, you have to take that with a grain of salt, because it means that it is not 100% undeniably true. It means that someone is saying that it happened. So we need to verify, we need to do our research, and the link is in the description so you guys can follow along as well, or just follow me as I read this. News of the epic Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover from DC to CW and Warner Brothers. TV continues to pour in and promises to be packed with stars ranging from the Arrowverse all the way back to the classic Batman TV series from the 1960s, meaning Burt Ward. And the latest name to pop up in the rumor miss is, I believe that's supposed to say rumor mill, is Tom Ellis, who plays Lucifer Morningstar on the hit show Lucifer, which spent its first few seasons on Fox before moving over to Netflix. Okay, so I was wrong about it being CW, guys, but that's more impressive. that is from Fox, moving over to Netflix. According to the Canada Graphs, Ellis was recently spotted on set. Because of the wonderful driver at the Flash set tonight who kept using their high beams for no reason but to annoy, let me give you a little scoop on Crisis on Infinite Earths scene shot today. There was a scene with at least 4 actors tonight at the set. David Ramsey, that's John Diggle, Kat McNamara, and Matt Ryan. No surprises there. They did a scene with Tom Ellis dressed like Lucifer Morningstar. Yes, you read that correct. Crisis on Infinite Earths. And this is coming from Canada Graphs. So you guys can check them out. Look over their page, read some of their stuff, see what they've been saying, how much of it is valid. You guys need to do the research as well, because I can't just tell you that they're valid. I want you to know. So I want you to come up with your own, build your own case, do the research, and then you will be able to tell before it's confirmed whether or not you think that it's confirmed. Then we'll get some reports coming out, or maybe we won't. Maybe that's a mega spoiler and they didn't want to reveal that at all. But anyways, this is huge. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, but you guys can go ahead and check that out on your own. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about that. This is wild, guys. Anything could happen. I mean, what if they got the Supernatural brothers to be in there? What if they got Jared Padalecki and Jason Ackles, and maybe even if they got Misha Collins as Castiel to come in there? I mean, we're talking about, this isn't even like CW to CW. We're talking about Fox to Netflix. These are not, it's not the same network even. So that's wild, guys. I mean, they have friendships. I mean, we know Tom Welling and Tom Ellis are at least acquainted or friends. They've worked together on the show. But nevertheless, I mean, that the studios would include him from his continuity and validate that, that's really huge and very big of CW to do that too. Wow, I'm super impressed. I would love to see personally the Supernatural brothers get in there. The Winchesters, oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. But let me know what you guys think. Who do you want to see in this crossover? Because literally nothing is off limits. I'll talk to you guys in the next video, but let's go ahead and jump over to the new topic. So the next topic is Crisis on Infinite Earths reveals the first look at Tom Cavanaugh as Pariah. I'm going to show you guys this image. It looks very much like Mysterio from Marvel, but it's not like a rip off or anything. It just happens to look that way. Some of these comic book costumes look similar, and so that's, to me, it just looks a lot like a Mysterio without the fishbowl. But I like that. I love Mysterio's costume, and I like this costume a lot too. It looks like a sleek version of Mysterio's costume. Less lights and distractions, less illusions, and just more like armor and cape, which I think is good. And I like Tom Cavanaugh. I like him as an actor. So let's go ahead and see what he's going to play. And he's already played like 24 roles in The Flash already. So we're just going to see him do another one. It says here, Crisis on Infinite Earths has cast Tom Cavanaugh in the role of Pariah. Now, DC Television and the CW have revealed the first photo of the Flash star in costume for the role. The Flash showrunner Eric Wallace revealed Cavanaugh's role at San Diego Comic-Con, and they quote him as saying this: as part of Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, not only will Tom Cavanaugh be playing 2 characters we heard here, he will also be playing Pariah as part of the crossover. Wallace said, he works for the Anti-Monitor. In the original miniseries, it's Pariah who is very much integral in releasing the anti-multiverse. For Tom to play such a pivotal character, it's just going to tear your guts out and make you cry. I believe that because I'm really excited. I don't know much about this character, Pariah, but it sounds like the role that they gave the actress who plays Lila, I believe Lila Michaels, if I'm not mistaken, which is Diggle's wife. She's also playing a character that works with, I believe it was the Monitor or the it's either the Monitor or the Anti-Monitor, and she is responsible for creating doppelgangers. So she clones doppelgangers, all the different characters and heroes, and it looks like Pariah is going to work similarly in releasing the anti-multiverse. So Pariah is like the key to unlocking the multiverse, and I believe I can't remember her character's name, but Lila Michaels is responsible for creating the clones. She creates doubles, parallel versions of the people that are filling out the multiverse. So I think they might end up working together somehow. Interesting. But that I don't know that to be fact. This is my speculation. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys have more information that would help me understand this? Let me know what you guys think down below. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Now, next topic. This is going to be the last topic of the day, but possibly the most exciting for those of you guys who are fans. So, Ryan Reynolds teases an unfortunate meeting with Marvel Studios in a funny social media post. Now, this is coming from Collider. It says here, following Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox, Marvel Studios has yet to announce exactly how fan favorite character Deadpool will fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but plans may well be underway. Ryan Reynolds took to social media today to share that he visited Marvel Studios, adding a traditionally quippy caption. And he says here, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the full post. It says, audition for the role of Anthony Stark, meaning Tony Stark, which is Iron Man. Didn't come even remotely close, but the nice man with the taser escorted me to the ground, which is a nice way of saying he tased me and I fell down, which is funny. But the point of this is that Ryan Reynolds visited Marvel Studios. So he visited Marvel Studios. Now, what is he doing visiting Marvel Studios? This is where the speculation comes in. Marvel Studios, of course, is where all of the magic is made. This is where all of the stuff is going down. And we know that lots and lots of meetings happen there every single day. Now, who else works there but Kevin Feige? Kevin Feige works there. Kevin Feige would be the person you would want to see if you were there. And he's probably someone that Ryan has met and worked with a few times already, probably maybe for some consulting. Maybe Kevin as a fan has come and just been like, hey, hey Ryan, love the movies, because we've heard him say those things in interviews as well. And we've heard him talk about having Deadpool in the MCU and how that might possibly work out, even though the answers have always been somewhat vague and somewhat I guess inquisitive, where he's sort of speculating about what might be able to happen, what could happen, and just firing off ideas without giving answers. This to me shows that Kevin Feige is already working out those details as we speak. So Ryan Reynolds visited Marvel Studios, and I find it highly unlikely, personally, that he didn't meet with Kevin Feige. I believe he did. I believe he had that meeting. Whether or not they came to any answers, whether or not it's a yes or a no, we don't quite know yet, but that must have been a topic of discussion. There is no way Ryan Reynolds walks in the doors of Marvel Studios and they're not talking to him about, dude, what if we can do this? Like what if the rated R movies are standing on their own, but we have Deadpool cameo in like every movie just like the Hulk does, and it's PG-13 in those settings. What about that? Like that type of stuff. Because they're already talking about Blade, right? They're talking about Blade being a rated R film, possibly. Fans are speculating because of the nature of Blade and how violent and vicious he is, and how traditionally bloody it is as well. That would be very difficult to make PG-13, although I do believe that you can do PG-13 Blade 100%, and it can be legit, and everyone's going to love it, be the best thing we've ever seen, including the Wesley Snipes take. I do believe that is 100% possible. Now, the thing that I find hard to believe is that with Ryan Reynolds visiting the set, that they didn't have some sort of meeting already discussing the MCU possibilities for Deadpool. Because one thing I wanted to note before we close out this topic is that we already know that there was the whole Ghost Rider incident, right? So Hulu 3 months ago or something announced that 4 months ago announced that Ghost Rider would be coming to Hulu along with Hellstrom. And recently they announced that, sorry, it's been canned. They canceled it, they backed out, and they're not going to do the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider on Hulu separate from the MCU. I believe they did that because they're going to try to make everything that has happened for Marvel canon. I believe they're going to try to make everything that has happened recently in the last 10 years almost canon. They're going to try, I believe. Similar to kind of what Crisis is doing. They're acknowledging all these things, even with the flaws and the issues and all that stuff. They're acknowledging all of it. I think that Marvel is going to try to do something similar. We know that they've already shoehorned the Runaways into this continuity. They're doing Cloak and Dagger into the same thing. They're already talking about getting all of them into the MCU, and they're talking about they had plans to do a darker adult version of the Marvel content in Hulu, but I believe the only ones that are going to stick there are the animated ones. I think they will eventually pull Hellstrom off of Hulu, and we're going to see live action Ghost Rider, probably Johnny Blaze, not Robbie Reyes. I liked Robbie Reyes, but if they're going to change that up, I think they're probably going back to Johnny Blaze, and they'll do either some like Dark Avengers type stuff or what have you in the MCU or on Disney Plus in the MCU in that capacity. So those are my thoughts, and that's probably what's going to happen with the MCU, or I'm sorry, the X-Men in the MCU as well. I would hope that they get some shows started. I think that TV shows will be the way to go, but I think that will have to be something that can jump back and forth from film to TV, depending on which characters you're focusing on and depending on how many films you want to be able to make, or do you want to make those types of films or make a show for the same amount of money and more time. That's just things that they need to work out, and I think that will play directly into what they do with Deadpool ongoing. That is my final thought for that topic. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this down in the comments below. And finally, I wanted to take your guys' comments. So there is a couple of comments here that I want to go ahead and read from you guys. So let me go ahead and see if I can switch this screen. Sorry about the delays, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn that off for a second. We have here Andrew Beacom 100. What's up, man? Welcome back. He says, I would like to have seen Tessa Thompson as Catwoman, but Zoe seems good too. Yes, I agree. Tessa Thompson, I'm not a big Tessa Thompson fan. I've talked with my wife about this and a couple of my friends. I haven't seen Creed yet, and I haven't seen Creed 2, so I know a lot of people really like her from that. But everything I've seen Tessa Thompson in, I've never once been impressed with her acting, and I've never once been like, wow, I really like that character, or I really like her as that character. It's never happened for me. So for me, I'm not a Tessa Thompson fan, although admittedly everyone says they like her from Creed. I haven't seen that yet, so it could just be I've seen all of her popular but not so good movies. So I'll give her another chance, but I'm glad that Zoe got it over Tessa, although I think Isaac Gonzalez would have been the better pick. Now, that being said, Rebecca M says, hey, and I say, hey back. What's up? It's good to hear from you guys. Thank you guys for dropping comments. I really appreciate that. If you guys ever have any questions, you can feel free to just drop those in the comments at any time in the live or down below after the video has been posted to YouTube. I will always get back to you. I have apps that point those back to me so I can keep track of those and keep you guys in the loop. And if you want to talk about any specific topics, send those to me. Just write them in the comments. Just say, hey, can you make a video about this, X, Y, or Z? Or email me at thestuffoflegendshow@gmail.com, and I will get to those right away. Guys, if you want to know how to support the channel on YouTube or on social media, it's always like, share, subscribe. And if you guys really want to support me financially, help the channel improve, I sell stuff on TeePublic. So tpublic.com /the Stuff of Legend show, or sorry, tpublic.com /user/the Stuff of Legend show. That's where you can find my merch, and I've created a lot of different designs that are inspired by like your favorite Batman Actors Hall of Fame, Superman Actors Hall of Fame, Joker Actors Hall of Fame. I've also got Power Rangers. I've got a ton of Power Rangers helmet inspired art that you guys can get in mugs, t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, tank tops, pillows, tote bags, lots of different things, pins, magnets, stickers. All depends on what you want to collect. If you want to have this merch and rock it wherever you go, it's up to you, but that will support me. So a portion of those dollars that you spend there will come back to me, and I will be able to use that to improve the channel and that kind of thing. So if you want, that's another way. I'm not going to ask you guys to do that if you don't have any, the money or whatever, but the best thing you can do to support me for free is to like, share, and subscribe. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so that you can be alerted when I go live next time, and that way you guys can drop your comments, talk with me in the live, and then at the end of the video, I will always get back to you, answer your questions, comments, and we can have those conversations. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. You're the best. Stay tuned for more right here on The Stuff of Legend.